the house. But anyway,
Greg.
you get the gist, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely wouldn't be too quick to talk about divorce separation. But yes, it's a possibility that you have to back off of people and let them know that you're not going to stay to tolerate any form of abuse unless they, unless they show up. They need to show up too, right?
They
To call
have
it a
to.
marriage, right?
Yeah.
But also, that's, again, we want to make sure that you've done everything you can do in your power before we get into that space. Yeah.
That's right.
All right. I think I should ask for divorce or separation. We have another one here. I'm 28 years old. My birthday was a couple of days before Mother's Day, and my husband of 4 years didn't care to show me any love or appreciation. Forget celebrating, he didn't wish me happy birthday. Instead, he slept all afternoon and ignored my existence. I feel like I live just with our daughter, 2 years old, because all he does is go to work, come home, eat dinner, sit in the bathroom for over 45 minutes, takes a shower, then goes to bed. On his day offs, he doesn't want to be bothered because he's tired, naps all afternoon, then drink all night at home. He's on his phone the whole time, then gets drunk and falls asleep on the couch.
Wow.
I seriously am considering separating because I don't feel loved or cared for, not to mention that he says he's always right and I'm always the problem. I have asked him many times for us to see couples therapy, but he refuses to do that. I feel like I'm wasting my time here. What's your take, babe?
I don't know. I think she got it figured out.
What do you mean?
She said she's wasting her time. And she said she thinks she should get a separation. One thing I would say before you make any decisions, like we always advise, is
Right.
to seek
Wise
You
counsel.
seek
That's what the
counsel
scripture says.
first
Seek wise
before
counsel.
you make any drastic decision, because you might be looking at things from your own end and not seeing things from his own side. So
Yeah.
do that first before you make any decision. That's all I can say. But no one deserves to be in a relationship where they feel like, the other person doesn't care and don't want to have anything to do with them.
Yes. So I think it's Proverbs 19:20 that says, "Seek wise counsel and instructions." We can't spell that out enough. We can't even overstate that,
Right.
But yeah, you're right about that, babe. Like, she definitely need to seek help. Let me just look at some of the details here. He forgets celebrating. He didn't wish me happy birthday. That's so sad. I hope he's not some kind of Jehovah's Witness or anything like that. But anyway, no, because they don't celebrate.
She would have known that.
Oh, okay, all right,
You
good.
don't think so?
Maybe it's a
Jeez.
bad communicator.
Oh my God, I can't.
Maybe because this guy just fall asleep and just get drunk and fall asleep. Maybe he's a terrible communicator too.
But the
But-
relationship also look like it's non-existent.
Yeah,
because
it's not.
He has a routine, and
Yep.
it does not include her.
Yeah, this is what Yoruba people will say. "Ẹni lórí ò ní fìlà. Ẹni
Ẹni
fìlà
fìlà
ò
ò
lórí."
lórí.
This is a wife looking for attention from the husband, right? Am I correct? We've discussed during this taping other people that have a hard time with the message, "I want a divorce from their wife."
Right.
Right. So now we're having a situation where, of course, she's talking now. This is probably 5 years before she pulls the divorce trigger.
Yeah, and then they will say, "I didn't see it coming."
And then I didn't see it coming.
Excuse me, bro. It was right in your face.
But let's address her because she's the one complaining.
Right.
Not complaining in a negative way, but she's the one talking. We believe that she has a leverage point. She has power if she's willing to engage that power. And I think she's already engaging it, but like you said, maybe a little bit too fast, right? Because again, Just two things I'll point out. But anyway, instead he slept all afternoon and ignored my existence. Okay, that's a feeling. Okay, maybe he's really tired. Maybe he's knocking himself out. Maybe he overworks himself. You know how people say, I want to lose weight, and then they will run to the gym, overwork themselves, and then come back and eat inyo.
On my birthday, you don't get away with that. You could do that on another day.
No, this is not the birthday.
Yes,
is it
is now.
Oh, on the birthday.
All
right. So it's worse than we thought. But just in general, right?
Yeah.
My point there is that people engage bad behavior because they overwhelm themselves in other aspects of life.
Right.
That's my point. Like if he's busy paying all those bills and which is bare minimum, I get it, that's what a man is supposed to do, but he hasn't really figured it out. Somebody used security boss yesterday, used the language in between blessings. Maybe it's in between blessings, and you want to make sure that's real. Because this is your husband, you want to make sure that you've really assessed things. This is why you need other people to look at it for you, not sister, uncle, mommy, not all that. Professionals or your pastor, right? So pastors that understand 2022, by the way.
You keep saying pastor.
No, pastors that understand.
Pastor that just
pastors that get it, that is
worse.
2022, right? The one that's not trying to pull you back to 1960s,
exactly.
Right? Okay, all right, good. I feel like I live just with our daughter, all right? So, she's this disconnection, I guess. He's tired, and then he's saying you're the problem. That's because you said something earlier, because you're gonna be there anyway. You're gonna wait.
You ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. What? There's nothing out there for the streets. But the truth is that it could be yourself for the streets, for your mental health. And people are opting for that choice these days. They say, I'd rather be single.
Yeah, I cannot come and give myself.
So
that's a real thing.
He would be wrong if that's how he's thinking. But again, this is your marriage, right? Duty, responsibility calls, duty calls. When you find yourself in crisis, if you're able to save your marriage, he will appreciate it later if you're able to. It's not always that case, though. Some people are just lost cause, but we never know, so we shall see. I seriously am considering separating. So again, why are you considering separating? Did somebody suggest that to you? Have you spoken to a professional about that? You did say you asked him to seek couples therapy. I always actually advise against that. I think you should seek individual therapy first. If you're in this bad place already, seek individual therapy first, because you want to be prepared. Even if a couples therapy will be necessary ever, you want to be prepared for that. What most people go to couples therapy to do is
argue.
Go there and argue with each other.
Fingers.
They just waste money and argue with each other. That's what, and point fingers, right? That's what that's why it's the same reason why I'm against family meeting. People just say I'm right here, I'm right. It's a competition. Whereas this is a marriage, it's not a competition, right? So, But if you say, hey, I'm going, that means you're holding yourself accountable, and you're saying, at least I'm at least 50% of this marriage. I'm an adult too. I could take some initiatives here. Maybe he's weak. Maybe he's not operating out of a place of wickedness. Maybe he is. But how would you know if you don't go seek help, wise counsel yourself?
I actually like that, because sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. Like how you contributing to the situation, to making this thing a funk. And then when someone else can point it out, you know that person.
They can click.
You know that person is not judging you.
They're not judging you.
They don't know you.
Yep.
They don't know you, and you're like, wow. That's making
sense. Right.
Maybe I should fix this.
And you're not defensive yourself, because you took yourself there, you trust them.
You're paying for it.
You're paying for it. So you're naturally not, you're humbled yourself and say, maybe there's something I can't see here, right?
Yeah,
and humility is one of the keys to successful marriage, because there's going to be moments in time that your pride will creep in and say, why should she treat me that way, or vice versa, right? But you're able to say, it's none of that. We're a team, right?
Yeah.
He's dead drunk over there right now.
Right.
But this is not helping all of us, right? Let me take myself to individual therapy, counseling, coaching, advice, counseling, right? And let me see what they have to say. That's the first step before you consider separation and divorce. Now, many people don't change their behavior unless pain and pleasure or relief is involved.
Yeah.
So if you continue to show up and you're right there and you don't do anything, of course he's like, all is well.
He can predict you. He knows where you're at.
Right.
He knows he's gonna find you right there when it gets there. I mean,
So it's possible after you've spoken to a professional that you may need to separate. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision. Right? So let's not talk about divorce or separation. It's a marriage. We need more people like you in a healthy marriage. But healthy marriage don't fall out of the sky. Sometimes people have gone through the experience you're going through to create it, right?
it's like a diamond.
And then it looks beautiful on the surface. Like everybody says, oh, they're, what is it? Couple goals? Goal couples? Goal couples? What is it?
No, couple goals.
Couple goals, okay. Right? That's because they've worked on it.
Yeah, Jesus. Couple goals.
I'm getting old. They call me 40 plus.
Hey,
On Clubhouse.
What the hell? The nerve.
Your father.
Your father. You have any 40 girls that look as good as
They're
you?
talking to the father, the 40 plus in their house. But anyway,
Heck.
you get the gist, right?
Yeah.
So, I definitely wouldn't be too quick to talk about divorce separation. But yes, it's a possibility that you have to back off of people and let them know that you're not going to stay to tolerate any form of abuse unless they show up. They need to show up too, right?
They
To call
have
it a marriage, right?
Yeah.
But also, that's, again, we want to make sure that you've done everything you can do in your power before we get into that space. Yeah.